Hello, this is Piedra Luna Tarot 808. This is a collective reading for the new moon in Virgo with the spiritual life lessons that the energy, planetary energy, is giving us all and is encouraging us all to follow. And because we're going through intense moments, we have solar storms, which change the magnetic field, and everything that's going on around the planet, and everybody's feeling a bit intense, especially when there's either new moons or full moons. Right now we're in the middle of the new moon. It's at the darkest time, and there's a strong energy of the moon, of our emotions, of transcending lessons about our mind and how our emotions can be in the way of our abundance in the following way. I'll put in the description below, I'll put all the decks that I'm using so I don't make this video too long. Here we have, I had them upside down actually, the Judgment card and the Page of Pentacles, as well as the Ace of Pentacles, and they were upside down. And when I saw them, they just reminded me immediately of today's gospel message about not wasting our talents. If you don't know by now, I'm a very eclectic witch, tarot reader. I love all sorts of religious, heartful influences, and that includes the Bible. So you're going to see things about that here. But today was very strong because the gospel was very relatable to the cards that I'm getting on regards to, and they were upside down, which means be careful that you're not not seeing or you're not following the call you're calling, what you were made to do, that you are wasting your talents and the skills that you have, and because of that you are missing all that abundance that could be coming your way, abundance that is supposed to lift you up and to help you lift others up. And I feel that in the sense with all the cards that I got. I use poker cards, and I also use my sign cards and the tarot dice that I made, as well as planetary, and the dice over here with the houses from the birth chart. Here we have Seven of Cups, the Devil, and the Three of Wands upside down. For me, this is part of the message of today, of the energy of the Gospels, which I'm starting to think as a theory, that actually the versicles of each day have a relation with the planetary positions of like the planets and the zodiac signs and the energies that they are, the test that they give us each day with their influences, with their energetical influences. Today, especially with that Virgo, all the signs have the high end and the highest side. When you've overcome, when you've matured, or be it that you're already an old soul, or you already evolved a lot during your childhood, and you could still have things. I mean, just because you were evolved in one lesson doesn't mean that you might not have to repeat the lesson. We're always going through lessons, and we all have our weak sides. But in the sense that, and we're also, of course, affected by all the zodiac signs, even if we're not Virgo, we're all feeling this energy because the house of Virgo is about service to others, and it's also about our daily lives. So it's calling us and telling us, if we're not following our calling each and every day, and if we're wasting those talents that we're been given by the universe, we're wasting all that abundance that we could be making. And the reason why we might be stuck and that we're hiding our talents, like the gospel of today, could be because it's because of that, because we're fearful. And that's part of what the versicle of the day has to do, that if you're fearful of even succeeding, some people are just even not only fearful of failing, but so fearful of succeeding with the what ifs. And the lesson, or the important thing about today, is to remember to be positive, that the creator or the energy that created everything has your back, and that there's a purpose. Of course, you're also an actor, but by not choosing, or by choosing wrong as well, if you don't have the right discernment, you're going to be chained up in things, or in fear. If you're confined by fear in your life, of course, you're missing a lot. You're wasting your talents. You're wasting your time here. You're wasting the development of your soul. And there's no way you can expect to to succeed and proceed in life if you're chained up by your fear of being vulnerable, which is what I was receiving from the cards, the messages. Let's see, we also have here with the 10 of Pentacles and the King of Cups. Sorry for the light. Let me see where you can see them better. With the 10 of Pentacles and the King of Cups, actually the energy of the 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles is Mercury and Virgo, so very much Virgo energy. These are actually harass cards. They were given by a good friend of mine who's in heaven already. They were used in Las Vegas, and I loved it. He always thought that it was not a present for a lady, but I loved it actually. It was perfect for me. So I wrote the influences of the planets and like the keywords of each of the cards on them. So it does have to do a lot with the Virgo energy about Mercury being our mind and being how, and our talents being, of course, in our mind, what we can produce, what we can achieve, and that our heart should be in accomplishing our talents, in developing our talents, in developing that which has been God given to us, and to put it in the service of others. Then I have these cards, which are the 5 of Wands and the 10 of Swords. And of course, those are heavy energies. And actually what they represent, they're again Saturn, which we have a strong influence of Saturn right now. Saturn is in Aquarius. And then we had here the 10 of Swords, which is the Sun on Gemini, which is excessive thinking. We have now Mars is in Gemini. So we could be feeling like that, like life is spinning us down. If we let our ego go rampant, of course, this overthinking is going to paralyze us from developing our talents, from finding, from even being on a good vibration where the doors of destiny open up to us, opportunities open up to us. So it is a calling or from the new moon in Virgo of letting us know with the 10 of Wands that it is time to put our burdens down. We have already been carrying a lot. It is time to put our fears down. We've been carrying all of our fears like a cross on our back, and it's already time to put it down. Sagittarius can also be an overthinker and being a Sagittarius, I know this pretty well. You try to grasp a lot of things and thoughts at the same time, and of course it becomes paralyzing because you cannot hold that many things at once. And let's see, where is it? And that by letting go of those burdens, putting those burdens down, that is the lesson of Saturn and Sagittarius, knowing when to put those burdens down. And sometimes it's just heavy trials and tribulations, but that, again, here we have Virgo again, Venus in Virgo with the 9 of Pentacles, which is abundance. By releasing our fears about money, when we release our fears about the outcomes, when we release our fears of the new things that we're going to find, if they're going to be as toxic as the toxic situations that we went on the past. As soon as we release all our expectations, then is when the universe can do its magic, and you can let go and let God and receive the blessings that you have coming. When you stop doubting yourself so much, when you stop second-guessing yourself so much, when you stop hiding yourself and hiding your talents and hiding the things that make you great. Now, of course, not everything is like there's of course relativity to everything. I feel again that the explanation that the cards were they're giving me, that things from the past, being the 6 of Cups, if there were things from the past, be it relationships, being your childhood, or anything that was imprinted on you as a child, that you saw as conflict, that in order for you to succeed, you have to put that past behind of conflict and not be afraid of success, not be afraid of criticism, not be afraid of being who you are. And that's a lesson for Virgo, because Virgo is such a perfectionist that they're sometimes, not all of them, it depends on the chart, they can be afraid of how other people see them, how they're perceived, and that they might be failing in any way. And I feel that with maybe Virgos, or during this time, or during August, we could have been giving just a lesson that we just couldn't avoid, of transformation with death, and or sudden changes, very, very sudden changes in your life that obligated you to look and face the things that you didn't want to face. And it was just like tower moments that had to move you where you wanted to be. And that it is a facing of fears that I'm feeling greatly for this new moon in Virgo, which is also part of let's see, what's the 9 of... This can be, even though this is not a Virgo energy, it still has the energy of Gemini, and Gemini is still ruled by Mercury, which is also the ruler of Virgo. So this can be the energy where we can get stuck, or or if our Virgo house is being influenced, where we have anxiety, where we're super worried. What if I do this and this happens? Seeing all the possible outcomes of everything. What if I fail? And it's a calling from the new moon to let go of that, to realize that life does imply an amount of risk, that you have to take a risk and a shot in the dark. And as much as you would like to know how everything's going to unfold, it is not possible. And there's actually rewards from jumping into the water. And that especially the lesson for this new moon in Virgo is to try, or to evolve that feeling of not wanting to be vulnerable, or that state where you don't want to be vulnerable. There's no way to show your talents without being vulnerable, because you have to show your true self. If you want to start a relationship with, this could be maybe a Virgo thing, that you never had the, I don't know, you never saw the moment to tell someone that you really care for them, because you didn't want to feel vulnerable, because you were doubtful. What if they don't like me? What if they reject me? And this could be an energy for Virgo, or your Virgo house, that you want to see results very fast. You want to see everything unfold super quick, because you're very impatient, and that can be a Virgo thing. And because you're not sure how fast it's going to come, and if it doesn't show up quickly, then your mind starts acting up, and you don't want to feel vulnerable. Then you just let everything drop. Or self-sabotage could also be a thing. So it's a lesson to learn here with Saturn and Taurus, with the 7 of Pentacles, that things that are worth it, because Saturn has a lesson of things that are worth it, they take time. And Taurus too. Taurus is an earth sign, and both are they're not quick energy, for sure, neither Taurus or Saturn. They like to take their time to unfold things, to learn, to build something. And of course, it makes a lot of sense. Actually, things that are built on the Saturn energy and the Taurus energy, it says here, life investment and discernment. And what do you want to invest your life? To have a good discernment of where you want to invest your life. But Saturn also brings us, as well as Taurus, that lesson that great things take time. Things that last take time to build. And just because you're not seeing the results right away doesn't mean that things are not happening. Let's see here. Here with the 4 of Cups as well, with this energy, just to give you an idea of is rejecting love, or rejecting blessings, or fear of vulnerability, or just not wanting to be vulnerable, not wanting to be in that position. Now, it could also mean other things, but right now, that's how it's connecting with the reading. And then with the dice, I had let's start here. I had here's the 7 of Cups again, which is about discernment on decisions, and the King of Swords, who of course is a strategist and wants to make the best decisions possible. So there can be sometimes a conflictive energy that you want to make. You get so stressed about making the perfect and the best decision, and you start to think of all the different outcomes that could happen from all the different decisions that you could take, that you're just, again, paralyzed and you don't take any decision at all. So it's a calling with the Nine of Swords here, which is, again, the Mars and Gemini energy of anxiety, of worry, and with justice. It's about balancing the scales over and over to make sure you're making the right decisions. That could be actually the producing energy of that. Could be the Three of Swords, of heartache in the past, which has made you so have post-traumatic disorder to the point that you don't want to make any decisions. You don't want to decide on anything that is related to something that in the past has broken your heart. But unfortunately, that cannot be live, and in order to build and to construct, we still have to decide on something and see how things go, and that is the only way we can find success. Here with the Three of Pentacles and the Six of Wands with success. Here with the dice, we have the House of Virgo. Makes a lot of sense, which is service to others, our routines, and there's a bunch of other things that the House 6 of Virgo can mean. But for today, it means what you do every day with your life and how you're being of service to others. And it relates a lot with the gospel of today about your talents. And this is Aries, which is starts of new things. And it's start of new things with here with the South Node. It's also leaving behind that past, leaving behind that all those traumatic experiences and not bringing them to the table every time you're going to do something new. And this has been a time, and I feel in August has been a time of great transformations that have transformed our emotional mindset as well with the moon in a way where we feel more encouraged, where we actually see the light. If, of course, these transformations were taken in the right way and they achieve to make us better, not bitter, right? Because we always have that choice. With the dice over here, we have 8, 9, 10, and 12. So 8, again, here being this transformation, is also the house of Scorpio. Scorpio having to do with death. So again, transformation with the 9 being Sagittarius and it being philosophical things. So changes in our life, drastic changes, drastic transformations during the Leo season, which have brought a change in our philosophy of life and have made us complete spiritual lessons in order to bring us to the Pisces energy, to a more connected energy, being connected to others, of seeing things from a bigger picture in a more compassionate way. And last, here, let's see, I had this from the it's called 101 Inspiring Promises from God's Word to Bless and Encourage. And this is the one that I have. Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. For me, again, that calls a lot to that talent, to your calling, again, to that energy of justice, of following your calling and having patience as well, because things that endure take time to be built. They're not built from one day to another, even to this day. And not to waste those great things that others have, that the Creator, the universe, or the random genes that you got in the lottery of life, whatever is it that you have as a talent to give to others, not to bury it. Don't bury your greatness. Don't bury your authenticity. Don't bury it because you're afraid either of failure and sometimes even of success or what others might think. It is what the universe has planned for you. And you would see what it is, because it keeps being a pulling and a call in your heart. And, well, it is, of course, knowing what is your life purpose and knowing what is your talent. Of course, it's not like you just call it. It takes time to know that. But if you already know that, follow whatever you feel. It's a calling from the new moon to follow your intuition as what is it that it's your talent. And maybe your talent is just to be a good family member, is just to be a good friend, is just to be the one cracking up jokes when times are difficult. Maybe your talent doesn't necessarily have to be like something absolutely fantastic and great that's going to make you a celebrity. It can be in many different ways, but just not to be afraid to be yourself, not to be afraid to show what you know and what you feel proud of, to shine bright, because that is part of what the universe wants for all of us, is to develop ourselves in a nice way. And I always ended up here with the sign cards again. This is service to others, very Virgo energy. So it's that we might feel like this is a waterfall. This can be a very Virgo thing, being overwhelmed by emotions, so immediately blocking what you feel because of that, because you don't want to be hurt because past experiences with things didn't go right. So you're still going on that post-traumatic stress disorder. But it is a calling to get out of that web of your mind, of that overwhelmed emotions, and finding that there's a plan for everyone with the castle, the plan to succeed, to be victorious, and that plan, maybe the way to, or not maybe, that like the clue to finding that path to greatness is most likely through service to others. What can you, and that's actually the key to marketing, right? How can you fulfill a need in the market, a need in others, which is a heartful need, which is a soulful need, and maybe you just have the right talent to fill up that need that of others. And sometimes it's just even something that you're not going to get any remuneration. It's just out of of what you get from doing a good deed. But that is also a key. It's going to move you forward, because it's part of doing good, and helping others is the reason why we're all here. So the clue to advancing his life is facing your fears. Those fears, those transformational moments that feel very uncomfortable, and that might be a thing that Virgo really tries to avoid. Anything that's not perfect, anything that's not satisfactory or pleasurable or or fun, they block it because they're afraid to be hurt. But it is a calling to face our fears and not to be confined by our fear in our life, and to let those talents grow. I hope you liked that reading. I'll put the information below if you want to get a private reading. And I hope blessings to all. I hope you're doing the best you can with the talents that the universe has given you.